What's going on, everyone? Today we'll be finishing part 3 of the FK-2001. So just give me a few minutes to make sure everything is good. Usually is, but I want to make sure. Alright, sweet, we're going on here. Alright, we got sound. I have the page open on my YouTube so I can watch the chat. Don't even know if there's a chat setting on OBS, to be honest. Because, yeah, I don't stream. I'm not a streamer. So I'm still kind of very much a beginner to this. Alright. Just do a couple things before we get started. By the way, this here, my KB Paradise V80, because right, I took the blacks out of this for the 2001, and in here I put in the cream damped sliders and tactile leaves, although these are still in the bamboo housings because I put the pine housings that these switches originally come as in the Focus with the black Alps parts, and that's why, you know, I want to make the black sound better because pine housings are the secret sauce. So I think this is a lot better with those dampened cream switches. I really think so. Because, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what that does. Opens my settings. But yeah. So this was kind of the result, the other end of the result from working on the Focus board. Alright, so go ahead and get that out. Because yesterday I decided to solder all the switches. Everything is looking great. All you have to do is just put everything back together. So yeah. So here's my beautiful solder work. At this point, it looks like a factory soldering job because I've been soldering for like 5 years, and it's a lot of fun. So I enjoy my soldering. So, and yeah, the PCB looks great. So I'm very excited to put this back together today. So yeah, it's looking good now. I mean, I can already tell it feels wonderful, and it's gonna sound really nice when I have everything back together. So these are the switches, cream damped housing and spring, or basically just Alps pine housings with SKBM black sliders and tactile leaves. Okay, put the caps over here for now. You know, it's funny, there's only one single screw on this whole keyboard, and that's just to hold the grounding wire in the corner here. But yeah. And I tested all the switches, they're working great, because thanks to this, my multimeter with this little accessory piece here, I can test all of the switch plates in this socket to make sure they are working great. Although a lot of these, like a good deal of these, like over half of them, weren't actuating like 100% of the time, so thank goodness those are pretty easy to fix. I just had to slightly bend out the switch plate leaf a little bit, and now they work great. So yeah, so this is the cable. I guess I can show this. This is the cable that came with the board. It wasn't too bad. Okay, a little spot I missed, but I did clean up some of it with some rubbing alcohol, and it looks pretty good, and even the connector's not too bad. So yeah, it's, you know, DIN 5 plug. Well, I think this model was made right after they discontinued putting the ATXT switch in these boards, which they had for quite a while, and that's why you can take off the badge and then you can just access the switch from right there. But like, this is a 1995 pre-Windows key model, so this is like one of the last models with the colored modifier keycaps, which I think are the best ones to get. And this is one of the Monterey layout ones here. The big ass enter, you know, normal right shift and the backslash key here, and well, this one is too. So this is a 102 key model. Focus layout ones I think are 101, I think. Those might be 102 key as well. No, I don't know. But the later ones were of course 104 keys and also 107 with the extra power awake and sleep buttons on the very last model. So yeah, I know, but yeah, I really like these boards. They're not built as good as many other Alps boards, but they're really not that bad to work on, and they're really nice looking. I prefer these over the Dell AT101s, mainly because they're nowhere near as hard to get apart. So yeah, I mean, it's really quite easy putting one of these back together, to be honest. So just have to stick the cable right here. Get the connector here. Make sure the cable has enough lead. I should probably move the grounding wire around. So that kind of got wedged in there. Am I sure? I mean, I think it was like that because there's little indents right there, but no, the wires there feel a little bit tight, so maybe I will scoot it over a little bit. I might just bring the grounding cable there, and it's just literally one screw for this whole keyboard. And that just goes in right there. No, you know, not too tight, but, you know, just snug enough that your grounding wire is secure, which looks pretty good. I just slightly angle it, but alright, next I actually want to put on some of the keycaps because they're easier to put on before you put on the case instead of after. because if you put it on, then it becomes a little bit tricky to put on the big ass enter and space bar. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, I do have several keys with broken stems from part 1 when I took everything apart. But the good thing is they all still fit on the sliders. So I'm just going to reuse them as is. And I could get some more replacement caps later if I wanted, but I'm just going to be like whatever, because they still hold on perfectly fine. So that's what we're going to do. And then, the rest of the keycaps are in here. Let's see. Stabilizer wires are also in here. Let's see. I think that's how I do a space bar on one of these. It's been a little bit. This is my 5th one I've done, so you can do that and then I don't know, it seems like on a lot of the keys, after even after scrubbing them pretty well, there's still a tiny bit of grime there. But I think I'm at whatever, and that plus these several broken stems, I might just replace it with the tie house set down the road if I want to, but I don't really plan to take this, back apart until I need to replace a switch plate, so yeah. So, and then that little piece right there. I just gotta make sure I have the right orientation for the stem. Although that one cut off pretty flat, so I'm not sure if I can really tell. The orientation of this one. Okay, well, toothpick might be good for this. Also, but yeah, no bindings, so that's really good. So I think the sliders in these things are almost new, so that'll keep these switches feeling good. Usually there's indents in between where the stem broke, so I can match it up, but this one I'm really not sure about, to be honest. I guess I can probably get the rest of the stab wires put on. The first 2001 I got had some stabilizer wires that were just really rusted. Oh, I guess I got them all out at once. Luckily these aren't, so that's good. Although that one stabilizer piece that broke, I decided to leave that one blank, although I should have not even tested or showed you why. That don't use tools to get those out, use your fingers. Oh well, I didn't want to have the broken one on the main block, because although I don't really use the right shifts, I didn't want it there, so I was like, I think I'll just put it on the numpad plus key for now, and we'll see, maybe I can find one spare little stabilizer piece to fix it in the future. Luckily that numpad plus key does not have a broken stem, but the numpad enter does. So, and then I left the little co-star piece there for the big ass enter. But now it's like I'm still trying to figure out how to match the indents of the broken stem, because they still work like this, but I wonder if it's just something with the old switches that, I don't know, breaks the stem on some of these keycaps, because it's not the first time I've seen it on one of these boards, but you know. But yeah, definitely can't wait to do some typing on this thing. Okay, I think go something like that. Oh, of course it's gonna stick to my finger. Okay, I don't think I want to do that, but like, and then this is what I do for reattaching the big ass enter. I'll like kind of loosely set it, and then okay, I need a something. I can do things. Or actually, it's been a while. I think I slide the wire through the hooks while like kind of holding the co-star stabilizer like on the outside like this, and then you just kind of have to feel it, I guess. That your main wire snaps in, which, alright, so right. Yeah, so we have the wire stabilizer snapped in and the co-star hanging out here on the right side. Okay, I think I do have the stem matched up, so that should go in hopefully without an issue. And then I like to, you know, just pretend the stem's not broken and push it in there. Because see, it still holds fine. And then with like a little flathead screwdriver or something, I just kind of push the co-star wires, okay, just hold this, into those pieces. There we go. And our big ass enter is put in place. Surprisingly, this key's not that shiny. This is usually one of the shiniest keys on old keyboards, but alright, yeah, feels good, looks good, no binding anywhere. And then let's see. Yeah, I think, yeah. And then this is the point right here where I put on the case. It's gonna match up the bottom little parts that you slide. I mean, really, it doesn't really slide in much, really, it just kind of like that. And I'm like, I messed it up, I think, while trying to show it, but that's right. Make sure they're all in, which I think so. The one on the far right, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just, you know, feels a little off for this board, but right, because you just gotta make sure they're all secure, and really then all you have to do is kind of push. The coiled cable keeps holding it down there. And you just gotta push 1, 2, and 3. And it's all back together.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like this when I got the board, like the left side doesn't go all the way down, but the clip there on the side is perfectly in, so I don't know.
Oh well, I mean, it's in all the way, so that's what matters, but yeah, the badge looks great. The black neon badge with these black custom pine black Alps. Scoot this back a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to put the rest of these caps with broken stems on first, and then we'll finish off with the rest. I'm kind of annoyed that the the left shift was one of those broken ones, because that's the key I use a lot. So yeah, this one has a little indents I can match up with the stem. Okay, because right, I just got to visualize when I flip it over to put it on that it fits correctly. Okay, over the thing. And putting on these stabilized keys is really pretty easy. You can just slide one end into the wire and then just kind of snap the second one. To like carefully push this one in a bit more so it's like even. Okay, well, yeah. Keycap itself doesn't have too much wear on it, but feels great. But yeah, usually I just do all the stabilized keys first anyway. Okay, now the numpad enter. Now this one also broke off pretty cleanly. It's like one little indent on the top or bottom. I guess that's the bottom, but I really can't tell on this one. So you just kind of the same thing on this wire. Slide in one end, clip on the other end. And it should go in. I didn't hear a snap, but I think definitely feels like it went in though, so I pull up a little bit, it doesn't feel loose or anything, so Alps wire stabilizers don't rattle like that much anyway, and plus I don't like lubing stabilizers anymore, so I guess that works out. We'll go ahead and reattach the rest of the good stabilized keys. Yeah, a couple left. Alright, this is the one with the missing stabilizer piece, so we'll see how all this one goes. We'll see. It actually still works pretty well. The bottom half feels normal, but... Or is it the top half feels normal, the bottom half feels a little bit wonky, but it still works, probably. No binding or anything, so... I'll probably forget that I'm having a missing stabilizer retaining clip anyway. So, backspace. It's our last one. Alright, that's all our stabilized keys, and at this point I just kind of start putting the rest on, but we'll do the rest of the broken stemmed one first. Stemmed one's first. Another pretty difficult one to tell. I knew this stream wouldn't be too long, and I don't think it will be. So, alright, I think that's the right position. This is the tab key. Okay, that one I got in pretty straight, so that's good. Now I just gotta... Alright. Little hair there in that switch. Just like to make sure. It's more of an OCD thing, I guess, but like no dust. I think really the only thing is Numpad Plus just rattles a little bit more, but I don't use this key a whole lot. I just use the number keys themselves more, so. That's not sitting up there right now. Let's see. Down arrow. This one does have a pretty visible indent on it, so. Oh shoot, I knew it. I knew it would happen if I just put it in the wrong spot. Shoot, I think I have to open it up and push it out, because I don't know, unless I didn't push it in too hard. Oh dear. And I don't know why, I never have trouble with these toothpicks until the stream. I'm not sure this one's gonna be able to come out. Okay, I got lucky. Came out. Well, it might just be easier to swap the stems, actually. Than trying to, like, take it out. Actually, I don't really need to take apart the whole switch. I can just swap the whole tops. Okay, I also try and put the springs back upright. Let's see, because that's the correct orientation in the cap. Okay, so that should still be the right orientation. I don't know, these springs don't want to stay up. They really don't. Alright, that's how you work around that. These feel really nice. Okay, this is the up arrow. Okay, this one I can't mess up. Okay, I think that is the right orientation. Oh shoot. It's like trying to get it in there straight is kind of tricky. It's like you have to set it on there straight and then like push it down there evenly. And then it should be all the way in there. And our last broken one, number row 3. Just like hairs. Let's see. There's like another key that had a stem that was about to break. Okay, I think that is the right position. Uh-oh. Okay, that one's not going to cooperate, so we'll just do it anyway. Oh, great, I don't know if it's going to like it. I think I got it. This is sounding really nice. Alright. Should be all of our bad keys in here, so alright. Alright, now onto the home stretch. I mean, Alps caps are supposed to like snap in, but they don't always. These feel really nice already. That's the numpad. At this point, I've memorized where every key goes, but still I'll accidentally put something in the wrong spot. Sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't catch it for like a while until I start, you know, seeing, why does this key output the wrong thing? It's because I put the wrong keycap on. It definitely sounds like a real Alps board now. As much as I would love a modern full-size Alps custom, it's really better to do these old ones because, like, I want to say like 95% of old Alps keyboards are full-size. And as a almost entirely full-size user myself, it's really the your only option. The one key that on this board that's not double shot, it's the blank key right here. I don't think I can like remap that to a Windows key because like it reads backslash, and if I were to remap backslash, then both of these would be Windows keys. But I use the backslash key occasionally, so I kind of need it. But not having a Windows key is really not the end of the world anyway, so. Once I get a row of 4, then it just sounds so good. I think I like these better than Salmon's from my AEK, which I'm going to switch. I think I'm going to go and spoil it now. I'm going to switch my Salmons to yellows in my AEK. Because I tried linearized Salmons. I fell in love with those. For the control keys, I like to put whichever one is not or has the least amount of wear on this side, and then one that has the more wear on this side. Just trying to find it. It'll show up eventually. Print screen. After being in keyboards for a little over 3 years and vintage boards, I think about a year and a half, I tend to prefer ABS keycaps. Even though PBT does, I guess it feels better on my fingers. ABS sounds and I think looks better, especially when you get double shot ABS like this. And I don't care if it gets shiny because PBT still shines anyway, although it does take a lot longer. ABS sounds better almost every single time though. Plus if you have double shot ABS, the letters never wear off anyway. But yeah, I can see some of the grime on the keys that didn't come off when I washed them, but I don't know, at this point I'm like, what the heck? I don't know. Maybe I'll try and spot clean some of them at another time, but I may just replace these with a tie house at some point, but this thing just sounds so wonderful. Okay, I was gonna say something else, but I just now remember it. You can still really make nice Alps switches like Franken Alps from a lot of the later production Alps that are known to be not as good. SKBM blacks aren't as easy to get as SKCM blacks, but I guess you could still do sort of the same thing by putting in SKCM black sliders and tactile leaves, but they won't feel as snappy as these SKBM leaves for whatever reason. Although I might try that project pretty soon, because I have an AK2 on the way. Now I'm just waiting for a good price FK-2001W. Like, I'm sure a lot of you know what those bamboo blacks sound like in the FK-2001. These just sound so much better. It's the pine housing. That's the secret sauce to why older Alps sound so much better. There's my other control key. I thought one of them... Oh yeah, that was the one that was about to have the stem broken off. Okay, this one is more shiny, but this one has the stem about to break. So I'm gonna put the one with the good stem over here. And I think it's something with those Alps clone switches that were previously in this board that like tend to break these caps. Because, right, this was not the first time I saw those broken stems, because I saw some more broken stems on another board with those other Alps clone switches. I don't know if it'll pick up on the camera, but the stem is cracked on this one. So I'll put it over here where it won't get used as much. So but like, you know, I'm turning the most common clicky Alps board into a tactile board, and I turned the most common tactile Alps board in FK-2001W into a clicky board. Which to be fair, I just click modded those blacks in my black FK-2001W. And that definitely feels a lot nicer. There's another row of 4. This is gonna be wonderful. And like, another great thing about, I guess, the layout and the keycaps of this board is if when I replace the keycaps with a tie house set, both the enter and spacebar should fit perfectly. Because, you know, 7-unit spacebar is like the standard for Alps, and a wire and CoStar Big S enter is what the set uses, so that should be a perfect, you know, 100% replacement for this when it comes time. So but for now, these caps aren't yellowed, and I know some of them, I don't know if it's showing up on the screen, but there's still some grime on these caps. But they're clean, so I just really wanted to get this back together today, to be honest. It's like hair in my bowl. These do have a little bit of shine, but that really doesn't bother me, though. I mean, to me, what's more important is like the caps not having broken stems. really not much binding on these switches, which is really good. This is gonna be fantastic. I've always wanted, like, after since getting my first 2001, I mean, this is my 5th one that I've cleaned up and fixed, but sold the other 4. I mean, they're so nice looking, and they have better keycaps than AT101. Because, like, I still really prefer these over AT101, because, like, I think they look better, they have better keycaps, I think the layout's a little bit better, although it could depend, really. They're usually a little cheaper to get than AT101s, but the price difference is getting smaller. It's actually still cheaper to get an AK2, which is definitely still better built than this. But, yeah, it's easier to take apart. I think it's easier to work on. The desoldering of this is also a lot easier because there's way less bent pins on this compared to the AT101, because those AT101s, every single switch has bent pins. Although with my soldering trick that I posted a short on, it shouldn't be quite as bad now, but before, like, I desoldered an AT101 like a little over a year ago, and that was a challenge, to say the least. Alright, well, while we are getting the last few on here, this is looking awesome. This is sounding wonderful. And yes, this feels better than any MX tactile I've used. By far. And really, Taihao is the one company that's keeping Alps parts alive. Like keycaps and stabilizers. There's like random hairs everywhere. Oh, I did it again. It happens. Luckily, no broken stem still. Numpad caps don't really have any wear on them. Bunch of weird little dirt things in my bowl. Alright, but you notice, that's right, we had one keycap missing at the beginning. And that's where we get our signature cherry on top. This is a blank row 4 Taihao keycap from one of my sets. I figured it would be a great spare cap to put on this board as we finally finish off our restoration job of this Focus FK-2001 neon badge. And, you know, it still has the regular print underneath, but really, this badge is beautiful though. The light, of course, sucks, but yeah. I figured this black neon badge and a custom pine black Alps build would make this perfect. And that's it. We are done. Oh, it sounds and feels wonderful. Another hair. Well, it's time to plug it in and do a typing test. No, for some reason, like, this didn't happen with any of my other 2001s, but it doesn't work through like a normal PS2 converter, which is a little weird. But my others did, so. Let's see, numlock usually comes on, and then I just do this, and then I usually leave numlock on as a power indicator. But wow, this is looking fantastic. I'm just waiting to pick out a desk mat for my desk, like a something 80s and neon and that kind of theme. It'll go great with this thing. Really nice. Just gonna put away this. Wow. I'll need the bowl for more keycaps in like another day or two, so wow. Let's see, I think I can just kind of sort of take out the cord here for now, but look at this thing. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna go pull up a typing test real quick. I will. Uh-oh, someone's just horror story omni-key. That's not fun. Okay, well, I'm not going to get carried off too much. Let's do. Okay, that went away. First typing tests. Do monkey type. I'm just trying to find one that's like 2.5 lines. I use this to kind of go through things. Alright, here we go. Wow, it sounds and feels right. I'm gonna flip up the feet. The spacebar is a little rattly, but I guess I don't lube stabs, so I'm not a perfectionist. I'm just, most importantly, to get it clean and functional. That's, to me, what the most important thing is. But yeah, I like these better than the salmons. I think the weight is pretty comparable because I used the springs from the cream damp switches, which they might be a little bit lighter than the ones in the salmon springs, because I've tried linearized cream damps, and those are lighter than linearized salmons, and then maybe these are a little bit lighter, but actually I'm not 100% sure. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. Well, let's see. Because, right, this is 1995. I know it's upside down, but yeah. 1995, the 2 digits from the serial. I mean, that's... The front is a little bit sunken in, but I think that's really just what happens to these, but this thing feels wonderful. Probably the best tactile switch I've used, although I have some nice rubber domes that I like because they feel pretty good too, but this is probably the best tactile mechanical that I've used so far. So SKBM black slider and tactile leaf in a pine Alps housing, pretty much. Okay. I'm gonna try it, just swapping parts with the stock AT-101W and AEK2. I think I'll probably, put those up for eBay and auction them off, because then a Dell AT-101 with damped creams and an AEK2 with some pine black Alps, those sound really nice with Alps. But yeah, okay, it's the space bar that pulls up that. I know that does rattle, I think, more than other 2001s and other Alps board, but really, I am not complaining. It sounds wonderful. I'm really happy with this. Well, I think that'll conclude this project of my restored neon badge FK-2001. I love this thing though, but well, it's wonderful. I'm super happy with this. Yeah, I'm gonna be dealing this, I think, for a good while, so until I get the next project done anyway. So yeah, it's wonderful. It looks fantastic, it feels fantastic, sounds fantastic. I just love these boards, and I think this is really one of the best, I guess, later ones you could get, because it was like one of the last ones with the colored modifier keycaps. The escape's also red, but it's black because we got some nice homemade pine black Alps switches in here that feel and sound are just amazing. So let's see. Well, closing remarks. I guess thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this trilogy of videos of this restoration project. I think it came out awesome. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for my Yellow Alps AEK project. Although I've learned, I think because I'm a whiz at soldering, by the way, not to brag, but you can swap Alps parts without having to desolder, but I think desoldering and soldering might actually be faster than swapping out all the parts. So, I don't know. I may just do that, swapping my Yellow Alps and my AEK, because I definitely like these a lot better than salmons. For I don't know why, but I just do. So I did lube the salmons. I'm gonna sell those off to somebody who wants them, and I'm gonna get some yellows, which I tried and just fell in love with, and those just sound absolutely wonderful in an AEK. So yeah, I guess without further ado, thank you all for watching. I love this board. I hope all you guys really like it too. I will be posting some pictures of it on, I think, the Vintage Keyboards subreddit and the Careless server as well. Really wonderful keyboard now. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you on the next stream, hopefully. you know, whenever that is, I guess. Yeah, and we just topped an hour, so I think we're good. All right, guys, take care.